And Mr. Impossible, or Mr. Mission Impossible? Damn, missed a word there. Baxter's coming out, aka Killer, with the Mission Impossible theme. And, well, let's see if he can do the impossible and give Team A a win here.
Rocking the cool hair as usual.
Of course. Gotta be styling. And he's going to be playing his EVZ against Zero on Outlier once again. This could be good. Of course, Zero showed us a genius level EVZ on this map against Hydra on Tuesday? Wednesday? I don't know. This is very recently, where he basically made his first expansion hatchery at a natural of a base that was like not belonging to anybody. So when Hydra scouted him, obviously Hydra could tell that there was a hatchery missing, and since it wasn't as natural, he assumed Zero had made it at a back island expansion and wanted to play for like the mid game with like Spire Tech. But actually Zero had hidden it and just went for mass lings and killed him. And it was so sick. It was just it blew my mind. Like at first I was like, Zero, this is stupid. Like, why are you taking that natural? And then when I realized what was going on, I had like a brain orgasm on stream. It was crazy, man. Anyway.
Actually, I missed Killer's ZVZ record. Did you happen to see it?
Nope. I think Zero was like 2-1 or something though. But yeah, I don't know what Killer is. Anyway, I don't think he's been doing that well in ZVZ. I'm pretty sure it's below 50%, but I'll wait for somebody in the chat to confirm. Anyway, it looks like who's who? I think Killer was the orange Zerg on the bottom left. No, wait.
He's white.
Okay, Killer's the white Zerg on the bottom right. Sorry, and Zero's the orange Zerg at the bottom left. Looks like Killer gonna get the scouting advantage in this game. Let me actually add these clock positions to my overlay. Probably should have done that for the J-On game as well, but I forgot. Alright. Now the thing is, I'm pretty sure Killer watched that game that Zero played against Hydra. So I doubt it would work again. Like, I'm pretty sure if Zero, scouted if Killer scouted Zero's natural, didn't see a hatchery there, but when he went into the main, he thought there should be a hatchery, he would like go and check some of the other expos just in case. So I don't think that'll work again. That's one of those kind of like only works once builds. And then once people see what you've done, they're like, oh, okay, I'll just scout for that next time if he tries it again. It's like, yeah. It's one of those slightly gimmicky builds, but very, very intelligent, no less.
Yeah, it's always nice to have one sort of polished one-time build in your retinue. It reminds me of, I think it was the TSL2, Mondragon had this awesome build on Destination. I forget who it was against, but it was pretty far into the tournament, and he called it his, I think his $2,000 strategy. And he just used it for that one game to win it. And just to advance in the tournament, and he never used it again.
That's Mondi. And, oh, what is this? It looks like Zero's actually going to mine out his back. So this time... oh, wait, no, sorry, not mine out his back. He's going to trick a drone through, actually. And, oh my god, this is so funny, because this is actually, like, the reverse of what he's doing. Oh my, Zero is like... Zero has just, like, inception to the metagame. He is now metagaming the metagame that Killer thinks he's doing. It's like, so this time Killer's gonna scout, right? He's gonna see nothing in the natural. He's gonna go into the main. He's gonna see nothing. He's gonna see that there's a hatchery missing. He's gonna be like, okay, I saw Zero do this against Hydra. Let me go and check all the other expansions to make sure I don't die to Lings. But actually, Zero has really taken the back expansion this time. This is like when players go for the fake double and like do a real 2-fact. It's just like, oh man. Zero. This is why he's my favorite player, or my favorite Zerg player. It's like, what a cutie.
Yep. Oh, and it looks like he does get his lings on the ramp just barely in the nick of time here to defend against Killer's little attack. And this is just a perfect position for him because Killer's not even going to be able to get his lings into the base and do any damage to the drones.
And this is. This is like exactly the same situation as before, except Killer suicided a Ling for no reason. But other than that, it's exactly what's going on. And all right, so let's actually see. Is Killer gonna go check all the other bases? Is he gonna actually get mind gamed here, hardcore? All right, I see his second Overlord is kind of floating around here. That guy He's even got a signed KT hat. Look at that. He's got a signed KT hat, and he's just sleeping. Oh, he might be waiting for a CJ versus KT. Maybe he doesn't care about this match. But still, dude. Dude, come on, man.
It's a classic fanboy.
Oh, looks like Zero tried to be a bit too fancy there and lost the lane. Dude, wake the... Alright. That guy.
Yeah, now Zero is trying to sort of force his way up the ramp or do some damage to those lings. He does have a couple more lings at the bottom of his ramp, but I don't really think he needs to sort of push his way up there. He's more just trying to catch Killer off guard, I think.
Indeed, just doing le fancy micro. It's not really working for either player. Oh, there's a gap now. Zero can actually run a ling out if he wants. Meanwhile, Killer has got his own Spire. He's taken his own natural. But as you can see, Zero's expansion is up much more quickly, and he's also got his own Spire. I don't know. I think it's slightly behind, but I think it'll be in time that he doesn't need spores. So that's all that really matters.
Yeah, another player's overmaking lings right now. Just saving up for these mutas, and when they pop out, we'll see how well Zero is able to defend both of his bases, because they are quite further apart than Killer's are. So even though no lings can get into Killer's second base, or sorry, Zero's second base, he might be more susceptible to muta harass.
Now I'm actually a little bit disappointed by this game, because it looks like Killer didn't actually check any of the other bases, and also didn't make any anti-ling defense. So actually, if Zero had done the exact same build as he did against Hydra and hidden an expansion like in the middle of the map, he would have been able to just kill Killer. So Zero, I think Zero tried to be really clever, but he didn't count on Killer being bad at this matchup, so it actually didn't work. You know, it's like when you try and be too clever in a ladder game, but your opponent is just like so bad that your mind game just doesn't work because he's not smart enough to get mind gamed. Like you can only mind game people who are, you know, at least somewhat intelligent. And Killer is just like so bad that he sees this build, he's like, and it's like exactly what happened to Hydra, and he still doesn't check for another base. Like, it's like, come on, man.
I've seen some people on the forums argue the same thing for Deer versus Flash. You know, Deer's viewers were just so late that Flash didn't even know what was going on.
Exactly. It's like not even fair. Like he's so dumb that we can't see Zero's genius. It's terrible. Well,
yeah, but either way, either way, Killer is in a good position, and he has a Scourge and Mute out, and so does Zero. So we'll see really who comes out in these air battles, and if anyone tries sort of some ling counterattack. But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about? I don't know. I'm sort of torn between deciding whether or not Zero is more susceptible to harass or less susceptible. I mean, Killer's going for that second base right now, but I think it's going to be hard for him to run lings into the main at the same time.
Yep, I also just want to make a quick note. For anyone who's confused, Zero just killed his own Zergling to free up supply so he could make an extra Muta, but oh no, this is actually quite vulnerable, yeah. I do agree with you. I mean, it's like a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it's further away by air from his main base, so it's more ground for Zero to cover. I mean, obviously, it's impossible for Zerglings to harass that base, but I do think since it's become like an air-on-air battle, that base is going to become a liability for Zero. So this strategy is not really panned out, I don't think. Although, I mean, I'm sure it's still fine. I mean, we have seen Zergs in the past go for that back expansion as their first expansion, so, I mean, I'm sure it's playable, but it does seem a little bit icky.
Yeah, on the other hand, if he makes Killer's mutas go all the way up there to harass, he might be able to do quite a bit of damage with lings in Killer's natural or main, because there are no sunkens there.
That is an excellent point, and I didn't even think of that. Huh. Let's see if Zero tries that. Looks like both players, though, have gone for a massive amount of Scourge here. Perhaps hoping that they can get Jaedong levels of success with their Scourge. Not too sure about that, but, well, are we going to see an engagement here? Zero is up in supply slightly, and looks like he's going in with lings as well, doing exactly as you suggested. I think there's a few lings there for Killer. Is it just me, or did Zero just have an eye twitch there?
Yep, definitely.
Zero has activated his flash mode. Let's see it, man. Let's see it. Let's see the Muta micro. Scourge going in for both players. Zero doing a good job of microing. Zero's own Scourge getting a lot of hits off on Killer's Muta here. Killer's is like not really microing. Zero's microing much harder, but I don't think it's working though. Is it gonna work? I think it might. Killer Scourge are out of position, and Zero comes out of that with a nice 8 supply lead. 32 supply against 24. And meanwhile, his Lings are actually going into the main base, has forced the drones off. Killer is in quite a bit of trouble here. I don't think he's actually lost any drones. Oh, he might lose one here. No, does not.
Yeah, and if you saw in that engagement, a lot of Killer's Scourge actually didn't hit. He wasn't microing them very well at all, trying to flank Zero's Mutalisk. So, yeah, I think Zero definitely came out ahead in that exchange, and some Lings just causing some more damage as well. It's just these little things that are going to secure him the lead.
Yeah, Killer's just kind of getting outplayed here. I guess that faraway hatch rate vulnerability is not a problem when you're as baller as Zero is. I'm really glad, by the way, that Zero is kind of really, you know, coming into, I don't know how to say it, but like he's showing us much better play now compared to like the beginning of the season where he was just getting dominated. Well, I don't know if he's getting dominated, but like he just didn't win games in the beginning, and
not the player he used to be.
Yeah, exactly. He's kind of I don't know, regained his old form here a little bit. And
yep, and he was taking his third base, and I like that attack timing from him too, actually, because it gave his second base some safety as well, just by making that big attack and cutting back on Killer's forces. He's going to want to be more defensive after that, so just sort of kind of a how do you say it, like a defensive attack. It definitely had benefits in both regard.
Indeed. The best defense is a good offense, man. He's putting that into action.
Yep.
And also, I want to note that he's hiding a pair of Zerglings kind of at the north side, as well as, I think he has 2 pairs of Zerglings running around in random places, so if there ends up being another big air engagement, he can just send those into the main base of Killer and maybe snipe a couple of drones again. Either way.
Yeah, and he still doesn't have any drones mining at his second base. So maybe he still feels like it's too much of a risk to invest more drones into it, but...
Yeah, I think it's because, I mean, gas obviously is the more crucial resource anyway, and he's like, well, just in case, you know, Killer goes for an attack on that base, I don't want to lose more drones than I have to, so I'll only mine gas from that base, so at most he can kill 3 drones. And then I'll just mine minerals from my main, because it's not like he's really oversaturated his main anyway, because how low drone counts are in ZVZ. So I think that's probably a smart choice. Meanwhile, it looks like one Ling is going to go in here and harass these drones at the natural. It looks like it won't kill anything, but does get a little bit of damage off and does force the Mutas to go back. Meanwhile, this natural hatchery is up, so the longer Killer sits around, the further behind he's going to be, because Zero is going to be able to start mining his third gas. And this is just not looking good for Killer. He's behind like 13 supply.
I'm assuming Killer's scared of that third base, but I don't actually know for a fact. He must have, though.
The thing is, if he did, he has to like attack soon. Like he should know then that he can't just sit around. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. So I guess he does know. Moving in with a lot of Scourge. Both players have a lot of Scourge. Zeros are a little bit spread out, and Zero sees the attack coming in here. And here we go. This engagement, so many Scourge. The Scourge all suiciding on each other. Looks like Zero ends up with a lot of extra Scourge. Killer immediately backing away. And
yeah, I think he was sort of expecting that attack because that nice spread of Scourge made it so the damage was more splayed out across his units, and he didn't end up losing as many. And now he's chasing Killer all the way back. Oh, not all the way back, but just out of his third base. I guess he's content to stay on the defensive for now while he gets his third gas.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what Killer can do here, because Killer actually needs to like win the game in the next 30 seconds, or this gas is just gonna kill him. I think he might have actually already missed his window. Like, I don't see how he's gonna catch up from here. He can't take his own expansion. Well, I guess he can, but he'll be playing from way behind. It looks like he's just gonna go for it, but taking a lot of Scourge hits, gets a couple of drones, but is getting a few Scourge in of his own. And all the Scourge are down for both players. It's just down to Muta on Muta. I'm pretty sure Zero has the advantage here. More Scourge coming in from Killer. Good micro from Zero. And that's probably going to be it.
Yeah, Zero has definitely been executing in these engagements much better than Killer has. His micro has been really beautiful to watch.
Indeed, and this is going to be the final engagement. Mutas dancing around each other. And, well, no more Mutas for Killer. Zero just going to pull back, though. Being very careful, but GG from Killer, and Zero takes set number 4. We will be going to a 5th and final game to decide the winner of this match. I think it's going to be a lot more crucial for Stars than for Team 8 now. Team 8 is essentially out of the running for a playoff position, but Stars is kind of hanging barely in there in slot number 4. It's basically between them and CJ for that last spot. So pretty important.
So if they lose, if Woojin loses this game and CJ wins against KT,
I think they'll have the same overall record, but CJ will have a better record in terms of individual games, so they'll be higher. I think.
Yeah.
It's something like that. It's very, very close. It's basically just coming down to like the individual game scores. Let me just double check this. So at the beginning of the week, yes. Oh, actually, no. CJ would actually have a better overall match score anyway. So yeah, they would reclaim their playoff position. So Stars definitely wants this.
Well, it's going to Game 5 now, and I think it's funny. The Killer's face, he just sort of shrugged and he was like, oh well, totally different than Sulky.
Yep. Doesn't matter, man. He's got the Mission Impossible theme song. Like, he's never gonna be depressed. He knows he's badass, or rather, he thinks he is.
Yeah, I was hedging on Zero to win though because his theme song was. Actually, I don't know what song it was, but it was by IU. So obviously.
Oh, obviously you can't lose listening to K-pop, man.
Yeah.
All right, shall we go into game number 5?
Ready when you are.
Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 5th and deciding game here. It is going to be a PvP between Jaehoon and Flying, who recently took the very crucial